Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Garrett Scouts and Pirates of the Caribbean film series. Simon Perryman here. Today is we're just gonna do that about work this out to do. Today is Wednesday, July 14, 2021, and we're just gonna have to reaction there about the text messages. Welcome to the QA series 44. We're just gonna have to make this going to about September during the Labor Day, and we're just having to get about the things about the confirmations about the informations to do about the paperwork to do for the family reunions. So my aunt Michelle, my aunt Renee, Ariana, Ashley, Erica, my aunt, my uncles, my name is my uncle Amon and Uncle Gio and Benny. We're just happy to go out to for the family reunion to see them on the mission of those guys. Hey, so I'm not so sure that would it get to about the minimum wage sort of about family reunion. We still have for the Oregon with the wild waves. So today is the day, and all the things that we can consider that we just my dad, Frankie, Bella, and I were just happy about text messages about Aunt Michelle's, Ashley's, Erica, and Aunt Renee, Ariana, Aunt Deidre, Uncle Amand, Uncle Gio, and Benny, and Adrian's. Seems to know it then sure. I've probably we will see the discussions for you guys, and this is my storylines today of just having about we're just having to confuse to say what we're talking about Labor Day family reunion. That's really gonna need to go something about extreme. So we're just having to hang out here about 5 hours and 6 hours. I know sometimes just hang out with the 6 hours is okay with that. And after the COVID-19 over about 17 months ago, after the lockdown about last year for about March 2020. It's just better than to make a choice to stay at home orders about 14 days and 14 nights. So Governor James Lee just have a reissues to get ordered the inspirations. Well, and then Bella's doing it. I think Bella was stay at home orders again about 14 days left for the quarantine during the COVID test. Her nose could be figured out as it gets infected inside of her body. So when she gets vaccinated for about May to June 2021. So that was my sister. I think she works at Bento Sushi, and my mom she quit for her job from Joy Teriyaki. Didn't listen to for the governor instantly ordered. So they tried to make it about the COVID shot for 2 vaccinations, with the 1 to 2 doses for the 2 shots. And over my mom should be okay with that. Should be okay. So she will have to make her about to get about the different jobs there for about Spanaway and through there for the Parkland through the different teriyakis. Parkland and Spanaway should be alright with that. And just wanted to make sure that should be okay with that. So my dad's got her out the text messages about his brothers. That was my uncle, my longtime uncle. It's my adopted uncle. So I mentioned that didn't mention that about Florida State. I was just calling about 3 weeks ago. So my dad's brother was the Florida State. Besides Atlantic, right beside the North Atlantic Northeast. Well, just like I said, I just felt like the surprise of my dad's brothers, and about 10 seconds ago. So I happened to see my dad's. I haven't seen my dad's information. So we were driving through the truck there. They were been surrounded by a tree, surrounded by paradises of trees, and some forests in some Washingtonian forest. Those guys went to the tree surgeons here in Washington State and the Pacific Northwest. But for right now, we're gonna have to make a choice, and we're gonna do your best job ever. So I think I saw Anne Michelle's pictures of my aunt. She posted about the Italy today with the kids. She moved. She fly to the Europe there for the Italy, right beside instead for the Germany. Since my dad just went there about 30 years. I'm not so sure they see one of the takes the very interesting about European animal movements about the Beloan. So my dad didn't mention that when my dad's parent and his parents said about fallow deer, roe deer, red deer, Eurasian wolves, Eurasian brown bears, even the wild boars, hogs, and feral pigs, and mouflons and ibexes and European bisons, including European rabbits and hares, and just might be suggestion about Iberian ibexes and mouflons. Even the Iberian wolves, it could be some endangered species about Europe there for the Iberia in Germany, even the United Kingdom for England, Scotland, Wales, then Ireland. It sounds pretty good on it. It's this British, and this is British people called the English, Scottish, Welsh, and Irish. That's a call it. The United Kingdom English is called. That's a grateful on it. Just like I said, you did a very good video on it and make it a great choice today. Those animals are pretty good on it. Just a good makes sense. So my dad just crossed it. And my dad is very young, just crossed around through there into besides the airport through there in the Atlantic Ocean, just fly there to the United Kingdom. Unlike the islands just below, and so even the Norway and Sweden, the Finland and Netherlands, of France, Spain and Portugal and Poland and different kinds of Italy and Vatican and Pompeii and Rome. Not so much, even so much about the ancient worlds that there during the Bible series, during the Bible book. That's called the chapter 66 only. They have about the new international versions. Those are about for the churches when you're doing the guys that about some Lutherans. So some Lutheran. That's called NIV. That goes to the Lutheran church. And that's where it's decided where it's supposed to be. And that goes to really decide it if you. Basically, it just can't handle it over about 30 years, 40 years, and so it doesn't make sense to do something about extreme. So I just wanted to let me tell you something about the below you for you guys. So since my mom just flight there herself about from Hawaii to the Korea, visit her friends or her sister and her brother, and I think my great grand aunt is still okay. That's known as Halmony. That's my great aunt. That's great aunt. That's great aunt. Yeah. I think my great grand aunt is still okay. She's still alive, and seems about sore. She was spiritually did exist to do something idea. Um, so I look up for the posted the pictures about Chris and Justin and my aunt named Shanae. Um, Sometimes we just kind of like the video coexist video doing about the coexist Curitono, and simultaneously I think even they just wanted to read something about storylines of story of the life of about Chris and Justin, Shanae, my aunt, my uncle named Corey. I think Uncle Corey's is still okay. It's still a gateway. That should be 30 years. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Temporarily. Yes. I think Uncle Corey just hugged me when I just jogged about 4 years ago. I'm a little bit sweated a lot, and I just went to the jogging there when I was outside of there, behind the Gateway building, just right beside, so straight to the sidewalk. I feel like to look around to see the cars, to see the traffic and cars, something like processing, and the stop signs, and the go signs, and slowly signs. I just feel like to see my uncle just working to the gateway, right across the street to right close to the building there for the South Hill Mall, Famous Dave's, Olive Garden, and BJ's restaurants, and right besides down there to the Costco's, and some different kinds about the Puyallup duo, even the Tacoma, Lakewood, Tukwila, and Seattle. It does make sense. Since my mom and dad just went to Seattle Safeco Field for the Mariners, it's harder to believe when I respected those the Cubs at Chicago and Illinois. So Illinois goes to the city for Chicago goes to the baseball field called Cubs. So we respect to the Mariners, and we respect to us. So Chicago Bears respects the Seattle Seahawks. Even exactly what Seahawks can do exactly about the end of this week, before beginning this August for preseasons. Before you do, not for that. So some more contests today. We're just having about NFL, NBA, MLB, WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, and so much. I know so much of ECW was to the memories today. Memories. WCW, even the NXT and SmackDown, the Raw and NXT UK still okay. We still have the making issues about rehiring this stuff. Get to the WWE.com on WWE COVID vaccines. Even discovers about commence of Stephanie McMahon, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Montez Ford, the member of Street Profits, Nikki Bella, the member of the Bella Twins and the Bella Army, and I can imagine that for the Vince McMahon about chief executive officers for the president. Sometimes he was 75 years old. He considered about the world about WWF for memories today for up to about 21 years. So even the WWF still took it about 22 years. It still has old. It's old. It's been about old age about with the World Wrestling Federations. For now, The World was the Entertainment was born about September 2002. I was a kid. I never seen a WWE since September 2002. That'll be the confirmation about September 1st, 2002. I imagine that from my constantly about those guys, about lots of people, about real information about creating the WWE, about Vince McMahon's information about women's long-term releases a day. Well, so they needed to probably stop firing those superstars, so people don't like it. The WWE firings each other about the superstars and divas, men's divisions, the women divisions, and the Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night NXT, Thursday night NXT UK, and the Friday night SmackDown, and Sunday night pay-per-views. Well, it's kind of very mean from young people just working in the employment about the year, about the week and the months and years. It is a hard time to this day for the WWE network, which means you get to the minimum wage for the talent showdowns. So if you guys wanted to watch this about reaction there for about Hell in a Cell every year for reaction to that, the simulations, Money in the Bank simulation, that goes to about Sunday 18th. So which means we get to the No Way Out simultaneously, No Way Out, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, Tables, Ladders and Chairs called TLC, Crown Jewels, with the Greatest Royal Rumble at Saudi Arabia if it returns. I believe at SummerSlam, Extreme Rules, which including Stomping Grounds, Battlegrounds, Clash of Champions, Night of Champions. Even it has begun. I know that every night of the day about every Sunday pay-per-views, every Monday Night Raw, every Friday night SmackDowns, we place in about Thursday nights and Tuesday nights. Well, it always moved down about 10 years later. So I know it's some crazy things about the whole people just moved to Tuesday night NXT from Wednesday night. Well, it's pretty good of it for the blessed us. So hopefully you guys sort of watch this about reaction there about Peacock on the shows. If you guys want to watch the Peacock, it's pretty good on there. If you wanted to watch this, it's really good on it. It's cool theaters are really free. So I'm gonna have the discussion on my family reunions today from my aunts, my uncles. We're just having about a family reunion information. We just wanted to go about September 1st. That'll be the confirmations. That'll be September 5th. That should be great with it. God bless you all. Take care. Make sure don't forget to subscribe to more content. So make sure to send it to your subscribers on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google Find Cameras, Kaka Story and Kaka Talk, Tumblrs and Hangouts, and including about the subscriptions about my family reunions. So if it still has to continue on Rancho del Rio of the Hunter the Call of the Wild of the Hunter Reserve on the north of Mexico, if you guys still have 100 rounds of color peccary, ringneck pheasant, Rio Grande turkeys, antelope jackrabbits, Mexican bobcats, coyotes, bighorn sheeps, whitetails, and mule deers, stills about the nice specimens around the world. my Xbox consoles is still to be fixing about the problems there, about hearing about the consoles, about PS4 and Xbox One. So it could be about the same that's going on there. It's still happened about the August 11, 2021. It still could be okay with that. So just like one of others about every August and February about Silver Peaks and Tiararoa National Park. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to watch it on videos on the Spencer Worlds, Lady Legend XOs, Ramen Tubes, The Lone Gamers, Scarecrows, Flinters, DD33s, Ramen Tubes, and Zaggy DK, and Jackson Beard. So, thank you so much to the commenting guys about Q&A series 44. Feel free to watch. Don't forget, keep it raging, ladies. Good night.